guys, my name is Bharat. I'm 26 years old and I come from a small city in Haryana. Now, I moved to Germany in 2016 and I moved there for my studies, and afterwards I tried to do structural engineering, didn't really like it. Then afterwards I shifted to management and engineering and I finished my masters in TU Hamburg. Now, after finishing my masters, we essentially didn't end up doing a job. We actually opened multiple kind of businesses, and that's why I wanted to show you how a day in life in an entrepreneur's life looks like. The businesses that I was talking about previously, we have multiple of them and they're in all different kind of fields. So for example, the first one that you know already about, which is Bharat in Germany or Big Academy. So this is an education consulting business that I run. Then afterwards I have Brandavise. There we help people with their marketing campaign. So that is essentially a marketing consulting business. That is my main business. That's where most of my focus is right now. So we have marketing consulting at brandavise.com. Then afterwards we started a new business now, which is financegermany.com. There we will be talking more about personal finance for expats who are living in Germany and helping them understand different kind of options they have to manage their finances better in Germany, because that is again something that nobody's talking about and we see a huge potential there. Already we have a good audience on Brandavise who is interested in business and finance both. So many people are also interested in just financegermany.com. Then afterwards we have another one, which is marryindenmark.com. That is mainly Alina's business. There we both get together and we help couples to get married in Denmark, because getting married in Denmark, it is the easiest. So marryindenmark.com, that is a wedding agency. Then afterwards we have aerodiaries.com. Now aerodiaries is what we call our house and our experiences that we have when we are living on this island Aero. So here people can come, they can book our house, they can stay here for a longer time. Sometimes we also have some digital nomads, they book the house for a longer duration and then they just stay. And it's a pretty nice place to stay and work, because you are really having no distractions whatsoever. If you want to go to some restaurants and stuff, you can do that, but it's almost 20 kilometers away, so you really think about it. And generally the kind of lifestyle you can live here is very clean, away from any kind of distractions, and you can give 100% focus only to your work. Another upcoming businesses that we are having is germanydiaries.com, where we are going to go around in Germany, show you different kind of places there, and that is something that we have already planned. We have the website, the work has started already there. And then we also have IELTScrashcourseonline.com, where we already have been running the Instagram channel, but the course creation that is also in the process, and it is going to come out in a few months. So that's the thing, anything which is big, anything which is nice, these things take time. And if you see, we have so many different kind of things to take care of. So many people ask me about the time management part, and they ask me what exactly do you do in a day and things like that. I think a very important thing that I learned from my experience is whenever you have multiple kind of things to run, and I personally think that's the most exciting way to live your life, that you're not just doing one thing, but you're having multiple kind of things so that you can shuffle. One day you feel like doing something else, another day you start something else, and this is how you can keep your life exciting. Because let's say someday I'm sitting down on Alina's website, so marryindenmark.com, I also build website, that is really not a big problem for me. Graphic designing, all of these things I can do on my own. So all of these many of the businesses that you see here, I kind of establish them by myself, with the logos, with the website development and all of these things. So some days I'm sitting on her website, then other days I'm working on my own website. So if I feel doing education consulting, I have Bharat in Germany. If I feel marketing consulting, I have Brandavise. If I want to talk about finance, I have essentially financegermany.com. If you want to talk about some travel stuff, we will have germanydiaries.com. So we are doing all of these things, and this is how essentially you can just do a lot more things from one single week that you have. Because for many people, 1 week means 8 hours of work per day and 5 days a week, and Saturday, Sunday is the time where they're going to completely relax and not do anything at all. But I personally feel that is not a very good long-term solution. What if you essentially work really, really hard on multiple kind of things, and you build multiple sources of income, multiple streams of revenue, and then you are 28, 29 or something, and then afterwards you can live a much more simpler life, a much more easier life, stress-free life. You have more time for your family than actually just saying, okay, no, I'm going to like not do anything at all other than the work that is given to me. I think that's like, a short way to not be an entrepreneur. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to just work on multiple kind of things which you're passionate about, which are going to make you money in the end. Because many people, they're not entrepreneurs, they're like, wannapreneurs. So like they just kind of want to like build brands and stuff, but like unless you're selling something in the end, businesses don't run if you don't sell something. So that is like, another thing that I've learned in my experience as an entrepreneur. And yeah, like, some things I wanted to share with you before the video starts. And now I'm going to show you the day in my life. One of the main things that you have to do when you are an entrepreneur is just take care of the task ahead of the time, because many times you want to get something done on, let's say, Thursday. Today is Friday, and some of the tasks from Thursday will still be left over. So you try to wake up early morning. So I generally do that. I wake up at 6 and then I take care of the stuff. Right now I have to make the invoices for my bookkeeping company. They will have to like, file the VAT, and they will have to like make the declaration for the last quarter of the company. So all of the paperwork has to be in order. I still couldn't do it, and I have to do it till 10th of every single month. So these things like always like, take additional time. And then like taking care of the salaries which are going to the employees, all of these things. Generally I wake up in the morning and I take care of that like, first thing in the day, like generally towards the end of the month. So all of these things happen in the morning. Then from 7 to 9, I keep a more relaxed schedule, because maybe we are just going out for a walk, taking some kind of like, pre-workday meetings, things like that. So all of that I will show you next. But now I have to sit down and make some invoices. Now, after I take care of the morning things, Alina generally prepares all of these things for us. So these are our supplements. I mean, like nothing dramatic. So if I would like kind of show you, so like we have some, actually I really have zero idea what is inside, but these two ones are cystones, like the brown tablets that you see. So because I had kidney stone in 2017, 18, I think in 18. So because of that, I generally take this so that I don't like have it again, maybe like at least sooner. And then can you explain, because I tried to explain, I don't understand anything at all.
So first we take vitamin C, then we take these, what is it called in English? I don't know. Zinc. This is the thing he takes against kidney stone, cystone.
Yeah.
Omega-3, but the vegan version with algae. Then this is black seed oil. This I take for my skin. This is turmeric and some like this green grass powder. I don't know what's the name. Magnesium. And then I take carotene, also for my skin.
So these are all the things that we take, and I mean, I will tell you honestly, like it does make a huge difference when we take these supplements and we don't. And I was like reading a bit, and generally like more of the tiredness that you feel in your body is because you don't have like enough minerals inside, because minerals are the first things which go out of your body when you're like fasting for a longer duration.
I forgot.
So these really help out.
We also take vitamin D, vitamin K.
Yeah, but these things they definitely help. And like the breakfast and stuff, like we generally skip it in the morning. Like we take it at 12 or 2, like we try this like intermittent fasting. And the nice thing about this is like we save ourselves a lot of time. Now as entrepreneurs, like you have to keep in mind that the time is always limited. You always have multiple things to do. It's always a busy schedule. So if you're able to like save time somehow by like eating less and or like maybe skipping a meal or something, then we do that. But we do it like as long as it is still healthy. Like if you're doing intermittent fasting, that you're like eating within a time period of 6 hours, and you're not eating like in the rest of the time, then it's generally nice. You save a lot of time. Like that's generally the priority. And then it's time to go out for a walk. We will have some more construction happening in the house, so some material there. Grass, it's a bit overgrown right now. Yeah, but I mean our gardener will come and take care of it. This is our garden. Then here we enter, and the first thing that comes is the gym. Then you enter and you have a kitchen. All of these are just different clothes hanging. So many jackets from Alina.
And Bharat.
I don't have any jacket. And
the kitchen is a bit messy. We can show
yeah.
it once it's cleaner, sure.
We can?
Yeah.
Maybe later. I tell you one thing for sure. I mean, like one massive like health saver is like, you know, this adjustable desk. I think everyone should have it if you're like, you know, working longer durations directly from home, because then you can work sitting and standing both. So like try to like shift your position, because I know with the entire work from home scenario, like personally I'm not a huge fan of it. I think like working in office spaces like with other people, like it's always like, you know, more interesting. But if you have to work from home, then like, you know, figure out a way to like just also make sure that you're like standing up, working, sitting down, working, and you're not just like sitting at your desk the entire day. I think like it really doesn't make sense, especially when you have the freedom now. And you can also write off these kind of costs that you're having because you're buying it for work. So that will be your work expense, or like if you're having a business, that will be your business expense. And that also like reduces the final taxes that you have to pay. Now, after the walk and stuff, I generally catch up with my team. And once I've done that, then the general appointment starts. So for example, today I have an appointment with Amal, who is studying in TU Chemnitz. And he's enrolled in the intensive coaching plan of the complete course of finding jobs in Germany. So we wanted to have an individual call. So like the last coaching session that we take, that's always an individual call. And then we sit down and we see like, you know, what kind of things are still missing. If there's something that needs to be worked upon, some kind of documents that we need to add, or like, you know, some kind of documents we need to change, all of these things we fix in this last appointment. I like to take a look once in a while outside, because it's just generally super nice weather. Right now we have some clouds, so it doesn't look that nice, but otherwise it's pretty cool. Alina, who is actually like taking care of my videos. For example, right now we are publishing this video, Desperation. So we just put visibility to public and then we save, and that's it. So this is also like, you know, pretty nice. And then we like take care of all of these things, because most of the times I generally do not find the time to like take a look at the videos. Like I record it, I send it to my editors, they edit it, and then afterwards like to do the final checking, like Alina generally takes a look at all of the videos and then we publish them. So this just like keeps the work a lot more streamlined. I can focus my time on like more important things. And yeah, so I think this is another thing that you will learn like when you're starting your own business, that generally like delegating tasks and like understanding how to delegate the tasks, like that is something that you will just need to learn. There's no other way around it. One more thing, Alina is also generally the person who is taking a look at the job applications. So like if you want to like work for us, just send us an email at jobs@bharatingermany.com. For example, here
We got 29 job applications.
yeah, but the thing is like it's not about like getting job applications, it's about like, you know, finding the good ones. And like that is generally in our experience like it just is very, very rare. And I mean, it's like not even the problem of the people who are writing us the emails, because like in most of the education systems you're never really taught like how to write an application. And like an application essentially decides if a business wants to hire you or not, because they don't want to risk a mishire. If you think about it, like if you hire the wrong person, like you train them, you invest more money inside it. So you're paying the person whom you hired, then you're paying somebody else who is training that person. So like the costs increase, and then like the risks are just like, it's too bad. Like you really don't want to do that. So to avoid these kind of things, generally the application is checked very stringently, and like this is pretty much the norm anywhere. Like, in Germany, that when you want to work for a company, they will really take a look at what kind of things you have written in your application, how have you made your CV, how have you written the email, all of these things. So keep this in mind, and I think this is definitely going to help you out. And as we are talking a bit more about the workspace, I think it's very important that you organize it in the best way you can so that you're able to be productive for a longer duration. So for this, like for example, I have my studio lights right there, right next to the computer. Then I have the mic also right next to it. Then generally my planner, like that's also lying there. Like I generally don't use it. I put the things inside in the calendar right away. I think like that's way better, because if you're using your phone, like Google Calendar will like always remind you what kind of appointments you have. So I generally use that. This is like our electronic stuff. Then afterwards we have there Sabu lying. And I think one more thing I can tell you is, like, if you're really working from home and like if you are working in a creative field, it's really way more productive if you're having some kind of whiteboard. It just like helps you draw your ideas way better. Like I bought some of these like extra accessories, so like if you want to like really come up with a structure, you can do that. Then my logo, I mean, like we got this in 2019 when we were having the India meetups, and I still have some of them. So it's always a nice memory, because like that kind of like reminds me that we stand to do things differently. The way it is done in India, like that, it just is not nice. It is not having a nice name at all. But like this can be done in a better way, by being more transparent, by being more open, and by actually like helping people succeed. So that's also like something that always drives us to like do better at Bharat in Germany. So we are like not really going for the cringe clickbaity content all the time. We are trying to like deliver the value as much as we can. So we are having our lunch, and Alina cooked something very special for the vlog now. So we have some veg patties.
I didn't cook for the vlog. I was planning to cook this since a few days.
Yeah, but I mean, like she does it like frequently.
So veggie patties, what is it? Fries, homemade, with salad with sprouts and different vegetables, and this is like bakery bread. I just put it in the oven with some oil and spices, and I had to make 2 different dressings because Bharat is always like one thing he doesn't like, so much drama. It is really annoying. That's why I had to do 2 different dressings, because I like mine with mustard and he doesn't. So yeah.
Anything nice to say, Alina?
Yeah, I'm hungry and I want to eat.
So the work day has ended, and Alina's up cleaning.
And then I have 2 sessions.
Yes, then Alina has to take care of the sessions. She has her marriage consulting sessions from 7 to 8. Then I will go out now, like read a bit. It's always much better for me without any distraction whatsoever. I've been reading this. It's just a really nice book. Going out to record the last few shots and some videos. So then I generally like put my clothes in the back, and then I like have everything in one single place, sit down, record a few videos, and that's how like it's always easier like to batch produce things. And that's the fun thing in entrepreneurship, like or running any kind of business or any creative thing. You will figure out ways to like creatively do things so that you can save your time and you can still produce some like nice quality content out there. So I'm going to see you there. So this right here is my favorite spot. I love to come to this place on the island because like generally nobody comes here. It's like a hidden spot. But the nice thing is you still get to spend the time right next to the beach and without any kind of disturbance whatsoever. Right now the weather is not so nice. You can see that it's raining, so that's of course like not really ideal, because I wanted to like take you down a bit and show you more things, but we will make the best out of it. And this is what I like to do once the workday is over. I generally take out some time for myself, and for example, Alina is right now at home, and I get out, read a bit, and these kind of things always help. I always have a pen with me, and the car is pretty nice. Actually you can put all of these seats down, you can sit on this very nicely. And this car can also be converted into a camper van. And I think like having some sort of like, van life or something, that is something I would really be interested in, because I think it just like gives you a lot of freedom. You can really be at peace. You can be away from all of the distractions. And I think like being away from distractions is very, very important if you want to like get something done, or if you want to like focus your energy on a few particular tasks. For example, on my phone, I don't have a single notification on other than Discord. So Discord, my team works there, and I know that many times they have any kind of questions whatsoever, so like I want to be active there, right? But there too, like also on Discord, the notifications are on only from like 1 to 2 p.m. and like then afterwards in the evening from 4 to 5 p.m. So this helps me organize my time way better, because otherwise you would be constantly distracted. One kind of notification pops up on YouTube, somebody uploaded a video, you go there. Somebody's going live on Instagram, you go there. And I think like you don't get anything done during the day. So that's why I think like cutting out distractions, that's a very important thing for me. So it kind of shows you already like how much we are like passionate about it, and like just focusing on the major few projects that we have in our life, than like wasting a lot of time in like just spending time with people who don't really matter. 9 to 6 essentially, it's just like work time. It's pretty boring, like I cannot show you much there. But generally after the work ends at 6, I'm taking out the boat sometimes, or I'm coming here reading my book, or we are heading out for grocery shopping or something, and like it's pretty standard things. Another thing I can tell you is never read a good book without a paper and a pen, because if you're getting any kind of like useful information out of there, if you're not writing it down, you will generally not understand it that well. So it's always important that you also have this here. Towards the end, I wanted to share a few tips with you which I learned from my years of running multiple different businesses and talking to like at this stage almost like thousands of people. So the very first thing I can tell you is there's always more to do. Many people feel that as soon as they come to Germany, that's the end all, and like they have pretty much accomplished everything and there's nothing else to do. But that is not true. Like what I always tell people is like once you come to Germany, and also especially students, like once they are done with their bachelors, they come for masters, all of a sudden they know everything, they know every single detail and things like that. But that's like a false sense of knowing everything and that like you've done everything. That's not good, because it holds you back from learning more things. Once you come to Germany, you have a playing field now. But to make that playing field level, you also have to learn additional things. You have to learn German, you have to build your networks, you have to like, talk to different kind of professors and stuff, see what kind of opportunities are out there. So you have to keep these things in mind. Bharat in Germany, I started when I was doing my masters, right? So don't think that when you're in your masters is the only thing that you should do, or the part-time job is the only thing you should do. If you're having some kind of blogs, if you're like making some kind of YouTube videos, if you're like doing anything else which is in line with your interests, that is always going to pay out much more in the future. The second tip I can give you is invest in yourself. That is very important, because when you are growing through life, there are different kind of things you can pay for which are going to increase the efficiency. Or if something would have taken you 18 months to learn, you will like get some training or something, and you will be able to do it in like just 2 weeks or a month or something like that. So if you find opportunities like these, invest in them. I mean, entertainment is fine, but entertainment is not going to improve your life. I can tell you right now that if I wasn't so active in learning all of these additional skills at that time, or like investing in myself, so the month's revenues that we have right now, that is going to be my entire year's salary if I would be doing engineering. And this investing in yourself could be for anything. If you're interested in video editing, why don't you learn that? Why don't you take some courses on that? If you're interested in writing blog posts, learn from somewhere, invest in some courses, but get these things done faster so that you don't have to reinvent the wheels and not starting from the complete zero. Of course, then you have different kind of financial budgets. If you can afford to pay and get these things done faster, then rather do it. They will always help you out in the future. The third tip I can give you is manage your time. That's very important. So this is something that I learned while running again multiple kind of brands, and I understood that if I don't feel like doing something right now, there's always some other places where I can invest time in, which is always going to bring me somewhere further. So having some kind of schedules always makes sense, but I would always say that when you're making a timetable for yourself or something, make a bit broader timetable. So it shouldn't be in 30 minutes I'm going to do this, 1 hour I'm going to do this, 5 minutes I'm going to do this. I think that's very useless. I think pick 3 major tasks that you want to do in a day, focus your energy on that, and then all of the other things can go around it. That's not a problem at all. And also, for example, I generally break the things that I want to do in a span of 2 hours or 1 hour directly. And generally after 2-3 hours I have a gap, because there's not going to be any single day where things are going to run exactly how you plan them, right? So always have these kind of leeway in front of you. Start using calendars. It's very important. If you're not using calendar right now, you're missing out on majority of important things that you can do. Using a calendar actually gives you some kind of discipline, because you will have more freedom for yourself towards the end once you take care of the tasks which are important. For example, when I take appointments with students, with other entrepreneurs and things like that, I always do it from the time of 5 o'clock in the evening till 7 o'clock, so that my work day has ended, and any kind of appointments if I have, I take it during these 2 hours, and then my time is pretty much fixed that okay, after 19 or after 7 p.m. I don't have any kind of appointments, and then I can sit down with Alina, we can have our dinner and everything together, and we can sit down and spend some time. So having this kind of time management skills, it is very important, so that you can take out time for your academics, you can take out time for your career, and you can take out time for your family. These 3 things are very important. The 4th thing I can tell you is that there's a time for everything. Now, there's a time to dress fancy, there's a time to drive a fancy car, there's a time to travel around, there's a time to take a massive vacation and not do anything at all. But there's also a time to grind right now and work really hard, because every single year you delay these things for the next year, you just have lesser time to live the kind of life that you want to build for yourself. That's why I always say that right now I'm 26 and I want to work as hard as I can till I'm 29, so that after 29 things are a bit more relaxed. I can buy the things that I want to buy, but I think right now this is really not the point at all. Right now, anything that we're earning from the businesses, they are getting invested directly back into the businesses, because I know once we're able to grow it to a specific stage, then we don't have to worry about running the businesses every single day, and we can have more time for ourselves, right? So there's a time for everything, but if you are not earning millions of euros right now every single year, then I don't think the fancy branding clothes that you want to buy, or the fancy car that you want to buy, and all of these things, they are going to add any kind of value into your overall life quality. Because many people make this mistake. They think that every single morning that they're going to wake up, they're going to have infinite time in front of them. But that is never true at all. Every single time you wake up, you essentially have lesser days to live in front of you. This is something that you're not going to know right now, because again, many of you are young. I mean, we are also 26, but we are starting to get this realization that there's always lesser time ahead of you than it was than what you were thinking previously. Now, the 5th and the last tip I have for you is coming out of your shell. I think that's very important. Like many students, when they come from India, they're socially awkward, they're shy, and many times like they don't want to like, you know, speak to other people because it's like, yeah, you know, like I don't know, like does it make sense? It's awkward. What will I speak about? Things like that. And that's why many people also like, you know, avoid going to parties and all of these things. I mean, parties are like still a very, I think, personal choice, more or less. Like for example, I and Alina, like we are not huge fans of like going to parties, but if there are some other kind of gatherings, some conferences, associations, whatsoever, we would love to be there, because like we don't like to be drunk and like, you know, hitting into people like everywhere. That just like doesn't make sense. So you have to keep this in mind, that even if you are, you know, in a social environment, like you're in a gathering or something, in some kind of function, it will not like, you know, hurt you. Like physically it will not hurt you when you go and try to speak to somebody. Like the worst thing that happens is like just a no, or like, you know, they don't want to speak, or like, you know, there's just a small awkward thing, but that doesn't stick to you. Like that's just like one single moment that happens. But like the upsides are way more, because generally everybody wants to be nice to the other person when they're speaking to a stranger. So when you will go to somebody and you will try to speak to them, you will rarely find people who are like, you know, directly rude to the face. And if they are rude to the face, like, you know, maybe there's something wrong in their brain, but like not with you. So keep these things in mind and try to like talk to different kind of people. When you're at work, I see this so many times, especially with like, you know, Indian students, because we're taught a completely, you know, different set of moral values when we are living in India, when we are growing up in our culture. And that is like, you know, don't speak against somebody, or like don't speak over like your boss or something when they have told a specific thing. I mean, some of these things are right, but like you should always have your opinion, and you should figure out a way to say your opinion, right? It doesn't have to be brash, it doesn't have to be rude, but you can still get your point across by telling XYZ that, hey, this is my opinion and I think this could be a better way of doing things, and I just wanted to share this with you. So open up, come out of your shell. If you have any kind of like, you know, doubts or something, feel free to like, you know, ask it to other people, feel free to ask for help, but do your own research always in the start. So these are a few things that I can tell you which like really improved my life, and I'm pretty sure that is going to improve your life too. And always have your own side projects. Like I said, I have Bharat in Germany, Germany Diaries, Finance Germany, Brand Device German. Alina has Mary in Denmark, Aero Diaries. We are trying out so many different things, and it's really a lot of fun. But like, this is all our self-initiative, you know, like nobody's telling us to do these things. Nobody's like giving us money to do these things. We are passionate about these things, and that's why we're really trying hard to make these things run. And the same thing you should come up with too. Like if you're like projects you're passionate about, if you have things that you want to do them. There's nobody stopping you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.